Yo guys, what's going on? Got a Whamon deck profile for you guys. So I was inspired by my buddy Taste of Victory to kind of put this deck together and test it out. If you guys don't know, BT7 introduced us to Whamon along with King Whamon. These guys are really a fun kind of archetype that basically just revolves around playing Digimon from your own Digimon sources for like no memory cost. There's a lot of really cool combos and a lot of cool effects that you can get off and some really cheesy plays too. So I thought I'd just kind of go ahead and show my list off and talk about the choices. So anyways, to start with, of course, just the Digi-Egg, just playing for Whamon. Doesn't really matter what this Digi-Egg is, to be honest. I just think Whamon is generically just the best one, so that is what I am playing. But let's get into the real meat of the video. So for the rookies to start off with, playing 4 copies of Whamon. So this Whamon has the effect where on play, if he was played from a Digivolution card, you get to just draw 2. So unfortunately, you can't just like play this and like just draw 2. Normally you do have to bring it out with like another effect, but it is a really cool effect nonetheless. You get a lot of pluses in this deck. The card advantage can get quite crazy because of how many draw engines you have in this deck. Speaking of more draw cards, playing 4 copies of BT1 Gabumon, as he's commonly known as Drabu. This guy just on play draws 1, so you got your own themed Pulsemon, but then of course bringing him out off of the source is nice as well. So these guys are your draw rookies, and then for the other ones, of course, playing the Floodgates, 2 copies of Syakomon, as well as 2 copies of Madoki Betamon. Even though this is kind of, I mean, definitely just a for fun deck. I definitely don't think this deck is really competitively viable, but I do think including these these cards in your deck is just a recipe for success as far as success is defined. As good as I can make this deck is my kind of plan, just to make it as competitive as possible, but of course, it's a fun deck at the end of the day. But these cards are just like good against everything, so might as well include them in the deck, guys. But that is it for the rookies. So then for the level 4s in the deck, I'm playing a card that I have not used in the deck in a very long time. This is BT1, regular just Garurumon. Okay, so BT1 Garurumon has the effect on play. You get to just unsuspend a Digimon. That's it. There's no special clauses associated with that. There's no inherited effect. It's just like on play, just unsuspend something. So now you might be wondering, well, 6 is quite a lot to play just for an unsuspending effect. However, of course, recall that this deck is playing cards that let you play stuff from sources, so being able to play them at no memory cost does basically turn like your King Whamon into like a Lord Nightmon that can attack multiple times, or you know, something to that effect. So this guy just really solid in the deck, and so you're basically playing a lot of cards that just have utility when you like play them from a source. So that being said, playing 3 copies of Cordramon. So of course, Cordramon we've seen have success in the meta, mainly last format, but it is still a really good card. Security attack effect, just play him at the end of battle, but then on play you get to trigger draw 2. So of course playing him off security is really good, but then being able to play him off a source is nice as well. So either way, again, just another draw card and another body on field of the security effect. And then just for the other level 4s, playing 2 copies of Lobomon, because this is a blue deck where you're playing blue Tamers, Davis, etc. So being able to finish out games with this is of course really good. Hybrids, I think, are just a staple in any deck, even if you're playing like a traditional 1-stack deck. Just including a couple copies to finish off your opponent, winning you games is really important. And then for the last couple of just techie cards, 1 copy Grizzlymon. Yes, guys, blockers still exist, and I think in a traditional deck you probably want to play more of them. So I'm not really sure about the ratio. Maybe I'd probably like cut down on the Cordramon, play like more Grizzlies. But regardless, this is just for fun, and you can do some cool interactions with this guy. Like if you have this as a blocker, you can like Digivolve on him and then like play him off of one of your other card effects. So like maybe in security, if your opponent hits like a tidal wave, you can bring out the Grizzlymon, and it acts as like a kind of like interruption during their turn, quote unquote, where you bring out a blocker. And then for the last level 4, just playing 1 copy of Ikakumon, because this guy has the effect of during your turn he can attack your opponent's Digimon that are unsuspended so long as they have no Digivolution cards. So being able to get rid of Bokomons and just the other floodgates, which and like really the only floodgate that hurts you is like the Madoki, Betamon, Gazimon cards that prevent you from memory gaining. But anyways, that card is just generically pretty solid. So for the level 5s, guys, here's where the bread and butter starts. So of course we've got 4 copies of the big whale Whamon here. So 4 copies of this guy because he's got the on play effect where you can play a level 3 Digimon card from one of your Digimon's Digivolution cards as another Digimon without paying the memory cost. And then if you do, you can also place a blue Digimon from your hand at the bottom of any one of your Digimon's sources. So that is also, so this is good, of course, for bringing out your level 3 Digimon. So this lets you bring out your Gabumons for the draws. It lets you bring out Gomamon for a draw 2. And then it also lets you bring out Floodgates if you like had to Digivolve on top of them earlier, but you still want to use the effect. You can bring those out after the fact. So Whamon is really, really good just being able to do that. But then, of course, you're not really playing him ever for the 8 cost. 8 is quite a steep price to pay just to basically get like 2 bodies on field. So you're usually bringing this out with the King Whamon, which we'll get to in a little bit. But then he's also got the secondary effect where you can put something underneath, which it comes in handy sometimes. If you need, like, if you have another effect, like if you got a Tidal Wave or something that plays something, sometimes you can stick like a Garurumon or like a Gomamon or something underneath like one of your cards, and then bring them out off of another effect later on. So this helps you, especially like if you're running out of Digivolution cards to play, as weird as that sounds, or maybe if you're playing against a blue hybrid deck where that's important, you know, that just helps you out. And then the last ultimates here, just playing 2 copies of Zudomon. This guy has the, again, on play, trigger draw 2. Lots of draw cards in this deck. And then he's got the when attacking effect, which again is not actually once per turn. I've talked about this in the past, like way back, like set like 1.0, 1.5, where this effect is not once per turn. So if you have an effect that like unsuspends dudes and like attacks again, you can trigger this effect multiple times. Being able to just gain memory is always nice as well. Okay, so that's it for the level 5. Now for the main kind of combo cards is your level 6. 4 copies of King Whamon. So this guy has the 2 effects. So when attacking, you may play level 3 Digimon or a Whamon from this Digimon's cards as another Digimon without paying the memory cost. And then during your turn, if you play a Digimon from a source, you get to then bounce a level 4 or lower back to the hand. So that is, neither of those effects is once per turn. Hence why the Garurumon is cool, being able to like unsuspend this and attack multiple times, even though that doesn't come up too often. But anyways, so being able to do that and then just bounce back stuff is always nice. Being able to bounce back rookies, preventing yourself from like losing is always good. But then the fact that this guy, like the level 3 effect is cool. It's like a Lord Nightmon type effect. But then again, being able to like play a Whamon off of this is pretty cool. So some of the like combos you can do, like let's say if you've got like a full stack. Like, let's say you got, like, this is your evolutionary stack, and then you can, like, attack with the King Whamon effect, bring out the Whamon. Whamon's on play will trigger effect, bring out the Gomamon effect, draw 2. So just off of one attack, you have, like, 3, like, Digimon that you got on field. So you can actually spam the field pretty dang fast with this deck. It's really cool. Now, your Digimon don't really like do a whole lot. You're really just getting like draw effects and like big whales on field. But it is cool nonetheless, I think. So there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with the King Whamon. And then to just get more dudes out of sources, I'm playing 2 copies of BT1 Metal Garurumon. Yes, this guy is back. I'm playing him in this deck. And for those of you who have been playing the game for a long time, you know the OG Omnimon Blue combo where you played this BT1 Garurumon and then the Gabumon. Another cool interaction you can do, because Metal Garurumon actually lets you play level 4s or lower. So that's kind of the thing that's missing. Both Whamon and King Whamon let you play level 3s, but this guy lets you play level 4s, which is really nice. So then you can like attack with Metal Garurumon effect, play the Garurumon effect, unsuspend, and then, you know, hit a security or attack over Digimon, and then attack again, effect, play another Digimon, so then play Gabumon, draw a card, or, you know, your Gomamon, etc. So that's why the Garurumon is mainly in here for the Metal Garurumon. I miss being able to do those combos. It's pretty sick. But anyway, so you're just spamming the field with these guys is the main goal of the deck. So that is it for the Digimon. So on to the Tamers and Option cards. Of course, you're playing 3 copies of Davis Motomiya. Davis is just good overall because you get to just search cards, and then also playing 2 copies of Sora Joe. So Davis is your memory setup, and then Sora Joe is like your just +2 memory, because most people are leaving Digimon on field for you to just be able to like take advantage of the fact that they have something on field, gaining the +2 memory. This is actually pretty important, being able to like, so as niche of a scenario as this is, right? I was talking about like the Garurumon thing. So if you've got like this, and then you've got like a King Whamon plus like this in hand, this lets you go to 6 pretty easily. Like, I know this is like a 5-card combo, but trust me, guys, it's actually come up a lot. So, like, if you've got like a King Whamon, you can like swing, play something. You're at 5, go to 6, play this for 6, unsuspend, attack again, bounce 2 things. So the fact that you can go to 5 pretty easily with Sora Joe plus Davis is important, especially because you do have like a lot of draw effects in this deck, so it's really not as inconsistent as it might seem. But anyways, just being able to do that is nice, and then being able to trash cards is nice. Pairing up with your like Ikakumon and stuff, this is definitely important. So just overall, generically really good cards. And then just for the option cards, playing quite a number of option cards. So that's it for the Tamer. So for the option cards, of course, playing 4 Hammer Sparks. And guys, don't ask me why I have 3 regular art and 1 alt art. I just couldn't find the last regular art Hammer Spark. But anyways, 4 Hammer Sparks, regardless of what art they are. This card is just broken. It's been good ever since the game's inception. Just gaining a memory and then gaining 2 in security helps you end turns and just slows down decks when your deck is really slow to begin with. And speaking of slowing down, of course, the 1 copy of Ice Wall, because this is a blue deck and you basically just play these cards in like any blue deck. So that's it for like the staple options. And then for kind of like the more specific stuff, I'm playing 2 copies of Tidal Wave. So guys, if you don't know what this card does, it is a basically cracked out Kaiser Nail. On when you activate this card, you can choose up to 2 Digimon in the source of one of your Digimon and play them as other Digimon without any memory cost. So again, like you can have a combo where you've got like maybe a full evolution stack. Let's say it's like under Garurumon this time. So if you got something like this, and maybe you like attacked already this turn, you can like Tidal Wave and then use this to just play any of these 2 Digimon. So for 7 cost, you get 2 extra Digimon on field, plus any bonus effects, usually like a Zudomon to draw cards, maybe a Grizzlymon to block, or just like an Ikakumon or like a Corjumon to draw cards. So anyways, you get this to play 2 Digimon off of your sources, which is really cool. But then also being able to activate this in security can, again, save you games being able to play Grizzlymon or just spamming the board, and now your opponent has to deal with the fact that you have like 2 extra Digimon in play, so you can probably gain them, is really cool. Now, the only reason I'm not playing more of this card is because it sucks early game, especially in security. There's been a lot of games where this is like the first or second card in your security stack, and then your opponent hits it, and it should be a block card, but then you don't have like a stack established, so it's like really terrible. So this requires you to basically have like a full Whamon stack before you do anything, which is why it's a little bit unfortunate, but it is simultaneously a really hilarious card and pretty good value. So that's it for those cards, and then just more consistency cards, 2 copies of Blue Memory Boost, and then just 1 like tech win rate, 60%. This can come up again because King Whamon's a 4 cost, so being able to evolve him for like essentially like a 2 cost, being able to play this and then reduce his cost by 4 is important, especially because a lot of times you end up with more cards than you really need to enhance, so that this is important just for being able to evolve into your Whamon quickly and then just being able to flood the field with your Digimon. But guys, that is basically it for the deck profile. I think I've shown off basically all the main combos. Like I said, these 2 are really your bread and butter, but look forward to some gameplay at some point. I have been enjoying this deck a lot, and I would highly recommend it. It's a very, very cheap deck, a very fun deck, so if you like blue, but you don't necessarily want to play like a blue hybrid deck or maybe a Gabumon or whatever, I'd probably recommend the whale deck to you guys. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.